The Wraith or the Goa'uld? Who would win in an epic battle to the death? I have my theories and I'm going to tell you all about them in just a second. Welcome to SciTrek, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. Ever since Stargate Atlantis first hit our screens and we met the Wraith, Stargate fans all over the world have been wondering what it would be like if the Goa'uld and the Wraith went head to head. And that's what this video is about. Today I'm going to be arguing the fact that the Wraith would absolutely annihilate the Goa'uld, and on Thursday Jay is going to argue the opposite point. So let's get into it. What makes me think that the Wraith would absolutely obliterate the Goa'uld in a head-to-head battle? Firstly, it's their sheer numbers. The Goa'uld are very, very powerful, but there's not actually a lot of them. The bulk of their armies are basically made up of Jafar, which are human, which have been turned into incubators for the larval Goa'uld. Now, they are not actually Goa'uld themselves, therefore most of the army, most of the forces of the Goa'uld are going to be based on other life forms, whereas with the Wraith, it's all made up of their own species. The drone warriors, they are Wraith. The queens, they are Wraith. Pilots that fly the darts, that fly the ships, they're all Wraith, and therefore with sheer numbers alone, they would absolutely obliterate the Goa'uld. But let's imagine that there wasn't that many Wraith about. Maybe they're on an equal playing field and there's just as many Wraith as there are Goa'uld. I still think the Wraith would win. And a large reason for that is the fact that they are very technologically advanced, and that is mainly due to the fact that they had technology from the ancients. Now, much like the Goa'uld technology is based on ancient technology, but the technology in the Pegasus galaxy is a lot more advanced than it is in the Milky Way. Therefore, any technology that the Wraith have salvaged and developed into their own technology is going to be a lot more advanced than what the Goa'uld will have, because it's going to predate any technology that will be present in the Pegasus galaxy, just by virtue of the fact that the Atlanteans went to Pegasus after being in the Milky Way and then colonizing it and developing all their technology. The Wraith will have better technology to start off from than the Goa'uld did, and the Goa'uld were very, very stagnant. They got their technology, they developed a few things, and they didn't really progress from there. The only exceptions to that rule would have been Anubis when he became ascended. Wraith, on the other hand, they figured out how to use space gates. They developed ways to incorporate ZPMs into their ships to create super hives. The technology in the Wraith dart that picks people up, I believe that was also originally ancient technology, which is something that the Goa'uld have never had. The best the Goa'uld have had in terms of localized transport would literally have just been the ring transporters. And they didn't develop them. They literally moved them from one point to another. So they took them from a pyramid, they put them in a ship, and they moved from point A to point B. They moved the locations rather than developing technology to recreate it and have more of those transports. So that was a very long-winded way of saying that essentially the Wraith had a very good starting off point in terms of technology, because they're both going to be based on ancient technology, but the Wraith, they just have a way bigger head start. Now, my third reason why I think the Wraith would actually obliterate the Goa'uld is the very nature of their being. They are a hive mind. They have psychic powers and can communicate at great distances with each other. This very fact would cement them in their victory against the Goa'uld, because they would instantly find that there is a colony of, let's say, Goa'uld who have entered the Pegasus galaxy. Maybe they found Atlantis first. Who knows? Maybe they just ventured into the galaxy unknowingly. They stumble upon the Wraith, accidentally awakening them in the Pegasus galaxy. And obviously, because they're the Goa'uld, they think they can beat them, and they try to take over. What I think would happen in this situation is the Goa'uld would then just try and take over the Wraith. They would implant symbiotes into the Wraith. They somehow capture them, and that would happen. But because the Wraith are so much more powerful in terms of their minds, because they have the psychic connections and things like that, I don't think they would be overcome, and they would actually reverse the connection. And instead of the Goa'uld being able to take over the Wraith would take over the Goa'uld and access its genetic memory, know everything about the Goa'uld, know their weaknesses, know their plans, know everything that they're about to do, and then just instantly thwart any incoming invasions from them. I do like the idea of a Wraith Goa'uld hybrid happening, but because of the reasons I've just said, I don't think it would work, because the Wraith, their minds are just too powerful. They're not normal humans where you can just take them over. They're not the Unis where you can just take them over either. They are essentially super evolved humanoid figures with psychic abilities. Now those abilities are something that the Goa'uld have been seeking for many thousands of years. I think Nearty with the creation of her hybrid humans. Anubis was also experimenting in that field as well, but if they actually did it and they got into a Wraith with that kind of mental power, I don't think the Goa'uld would survive. I don't think they're powerful enough to fight against that kind of power in their larval form. But what do you think? Wraith or Goa'uld? Who would win in an epic battle to the death? Thank you so much for watching. If you are new to the YouTube channel, make sure you hit like and subscribe and press the bell notification down below so you don't miss a single video. Also, whilst you're down there, why not consider becoming a fully fledged SciTrekker? Hit the join button down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.